Hey guys, how's it going? It's CJ9899, and I bring you a test of a new panel, and a very interesting panel at that I recently received. So, let's get into it. Alright, so as you can see, I have not shown it yet, but I'm going to in a second. But I'm just going to go in a little back about this panel. I got this panel from work, and I picked this panel specifically because I feel like this panel doesn't get enough attention that it deserves, and it really needs a good explanation as to what these panels were and what kind of features they actually have to offer, because in a collector world, you don't really see these panels very often. Only ever once have you really seen these panels. So, here it is. Yep, this is an Edwards ESA 2000 conventional / addressable fire alarm control panel. So I got this, again, yes, I got this panel from work. They had the display. As you can see, it's not in a cabinet. It's just the front 3-bay display and the circuit board with the transformers, and that is a spot for extra cards. And this is the mounting chassis right here. So if I ever do find a cabinet, that would be nice, because I can just, it's all ready to mount. But these panels are, I should say, they're a very interesting panel. Basically, they are one of the first Edwards addressable panels. Of course, the IRC3 was out before this, but this was more the first addressable panel that Edwards made that really had a big impact, or like was promoted more, because it was obviously a lot more, advanced than the IRC3 in a couple ways. But anyway, I'm just gonna go into a bit about like how it works and stuff like that. So, also, I should mention that the only other place you've probably seen this panel on YouTube, or for any matter, is a video by Canadian Alarms called Edwards ESA 2000 Test. And he had a 1-bay ESA 2000 that, in all respect, he made a video on it, but he didn't really know how to work it.
Edwards ESA 2000 addressable fire alarm control panel. See, if I want to go through the troubles, we can hit this. There we go, we got into alarm there.
I don't blame him too much, because these panels can be a bit of a pain sometimes. But anyways, I'm going to go into it and give it a better explanation as to what it does. So right now the system is normal. This is the front CPU display right here. You have your buttons, your alarm, supervisory, trouble, and monitors. You have all sorts of controls, disables, lamp test, all that kind of thing. Here you have more your actual operation controls, like signal silence, manual evac, you get ground fault, battery trouble, silence the buzzer, and system reset. And then all of these are the Canadian, because this is an Edwards ESA 2000C, this is all the Canadian labels for zone enunciation. Yes, so these panels also, which is nice, they buzz, which is kind of like the 4100, which in my opinion, these panels were kind of Edwards' answer to the 4100, because in terms of all the features and what it can do, it's basically an Edwards version of a 4100. It's got the buzzer, it's got all the features you need. It's a really interesting panel. And honestly, some of the crap that it gets I don't think is deserved, because the conventional versions of these panels, which is what this is, because the motherboard has 8 zones and 2 NACs by default, but this card bay here, you can install cards just like the 6616 cards, which are right there. They have their own versions of cards, and you can get like voice evac cards, more zone cards, NAC cards, city tie cards, like relay cards, all sorts of cards that you can use for this. And it's a really flexible panel, actually, if you can get your hands on one, because they're not too common to find. There are only a limited amount of parts out there on eBay, and when you do find parts of them, they are going to be pretty pricey. But they are a cool panel, and I will demonstrate it here a bit, and I'll show you some of the features. But First, also, I should mention down here, this is where there are dip switches, and I still don't really know what that thing is that flashes, but this is where you set all your binary codes for like walk tests and stuff, which one of the things that a lot of people hate about this panel is that it is a pain in the butt to put into walk test, which I am not too surprised. I can't even figure it out yet. But the menus, so you got your menu here. You can do pretty much all the programming that you need from the front display. There is software for these panels, but of course it's old. This panel is from 1995, so it uses DOS, and you don't really need it though, because you can program everything. You can program your coding options, your correlations, your LED mapping. You can program the devices and the circuits and how many there are, auto configuration. But in the main menu, you have reports, enable, disable, set time and date, set password, and programming mode, and of course exit. But yeah, these panels, I'm going to go out and say that they are actually very collector friendly. The conventional versions are. The addressable versions is where you need to get into the software, and they can be a little bit faulty because of the way that the SLCs work, and you need a special SLC card, and they were more used in America, or in the United States more than Canada. The Canadian ones are more conventional, which are a lot easier to work with. You can also like edit the zone labels and stuff like that. And you will see that because we will be putting it in alarm. And for the horn strobe, I chose to go with an Edwards Integrity unenhanced 15 candela model. And these are the Edwards 275 SPOs. Typically, these are what you'd see back in the day when these were installed. So this is actually a replica of my elementary school, which had these on continuous, and then these. This is set on code 3, though, because it's, like, extremely loud. But, let's go ahead and put it in alarm. Alright. Yeah, it does show trouble though when you do signal silence, which I don't really like, but you know, whatever. I'm going to jump cut to when the pull station is reset, and we will go ahead and reset the panel. And now it takes about 1:10 to reset, which is another thing that I don't really like about these panels. But other than that, though, I'm going to say that these panels are actually really cool, and I don't really think they get the attention that they deserve from a collector's standpoint, at least. I can understand why technicians don't like them, because when you have more devices on these things, they can get a lot slower, and they can be a pain. But from a collector's standpoint, I think that these panels are very friendly to work with if you can find one. But anyways, yeah, that's just an overview of the ESA 2000, just to show you kind of what it is. It's one of those panels that everyone's forgotten about, really. But anyways, this is CJ9899 signing off, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.